inappropriate for Police Minister Senzo Mchunu to call him asking for an update on a murder case he was investigating. Gopal has been testifying at the Madlanga Commission this morning, which was established to investigate possible political interference and corruption in the country's law enforcement agencies. Gopal has been giving evidence about the death of ANC Mandeni councillor Pendukani Mabhida. Thabiso Goba has the story.
On the 5th of February last year, ANC Mandeni councillor Pendukani Mabhida was shot and killed in his home. Former Ilembe District's Commissioner Anthony Gopal says on the night of the murder he received a call from Police Minister Senzo Mchunu asking to be kept abreast on the details of the case.
Was it appropriate for the minister to reach out to you seeking information concerning the murder of Councillor Mabhida, in your opinion?
From my protocol training, it is not appropriate. But I can't say from Minister Mchunu's protocol, as a politician, what training they receive and how to communicate and with whom and to what boundaries they cross and allowed to cross.
Gopal says in his 35 years of experience as a police officer, it's not normal for a district commissioner to interact with the minister without permission from his principal. Thabiso Goba, Eyewitness News.
Outgoing NPA head Shamila Batoy will not resume her testimony at the inquiry into Johannesburg prosecution's boss, Advocate Andrew Chauke. Last month, Batoy abandoned her testimony, requesting an opportunity to be given legal advice. Batoy is the main complainant. She accused Chauke of making politically motivated prosecutorial decisions. This is linked to the prosecution of former KwaZulu-Natal Hawks boss, Johan Buerta, and his Cato Manor unit. Khumutsa has more.
When Advocate Shamila Batoy abandoned her testimony in December, she'd been admonished and warned by the inquiry's panel for her conduct. During a heated cross-examination by Advocate Andrew Chauke's lawyer, Advocate Tembeka Ngugai-Tobi, Batoy decided not to return before the inquiry without being given legal advice. This morning, the evidence leaders have told the inquiry that Batoy's request for a senior counsel and a junior for legal advice was rejected by the Solicitor General and by the Justice Minister Mamuloko Kubai. The minister suggested that she be advised by the NPA's lawyers who are part of the inquiry. Today, one of the evidence leaders, Advocate Thembas Khosana, addressed the inquiry.
Our position is that all the other questions are dependent on this one. In other words, they cannot be addressed meaningfully without or before this one of her obtaining legal advice is determined.
The inquiry has heard that Batoy refuses to return to the witness stand without legal advice. Eyewitness News, Pretoria.
In the Western Cape, as Knysna grapples with a deepening water crisis, attention is turning to what happens to water before it reaches households. With dam levels critically low and the town trying to avert a potential day zero, local leaders say massive water losses inside the system are making the situation hard to manage. Kayleen Morgan has the details.
As Knysna edges closer to a potential day zero, concerns are growing about how much treated water is being lost and how much of what remains cannot be properly tracked. DA Ward Councillor Sharon Sabach says more than half of the municipality's treated water is unaccounted for.
In terms of non-revenue water particularly, 56% of our treated water is lost in terms of unaccounted for water due to water leaks, burst pipes and bypassed water meters. 8,000 consumers are unmetered. So how do you then manage the water consumption of residents whose meters are actually not even connected to the system?
Sabach says without functioning meters, the municipality cannot accurately track household consumption, making enforcement of restrictions difficult, especially under a local disaster. Residents are being urged to drastically cut consumption to avoid day zero. Kayleen Morgan, Eyewitness News, Knysna.
And President Cyril Ramaphosa says the country's economy has posted 4 consecutive quarters of growth, signs that the government's economic recovery is gathering pace. Ramaphosa says in the last few months of last year, the country witnessed a number of indicators that show efforts to rebuild the economy are bearing fruit. Writing in his newsletter, Ramaphosa also notes how confidence in the country's economy is rising. Babalo Ndenza has more.
President Cyril Ramaphosa has continued his focus on the economy in his latest newsletter and how the latest numbers show a steady recovery. He says there's been a steady reduction in unemployment, while recent data released by Stats SA shows that the levels of poverty and inequality have declined considerably. He says confidence in the economy is rising with a better performing stock exchange and the average inflation rate at its lowest point in 2 decades. With the end to load shedding, he says the electricity reforms have been critical in the economic recovery efforts. Ramaphosa also notes how late last year, South Africa also exited the Financial Action Task Force grey list, which is an important signal of institutional improvement and a boost to investor confidence. Babalo Ndenza, Eyewitness News.
Gold's trading at $5,082.24 an ounce. The rand's at 16.01 to the dollar, at 21.89 to the pound, at 18.99 to the euro. Brent crude oil's at $65.72 a barrel. A look at your weather. A partly cloudy start to the week across Gauteng with afternoon thunder showers expected today. Temperatures are peaking at highs between 30 and 32 degrees. It's also a partly cloudy Monday afternoon in Cape Town today with moderate southwesterly winds at a high of 28 degrees. The top story in Eyewitness News this hour. The man accused of orchestrating the murder of Warwick Stock, popularly known as DJ Warra, has been denied bail.
That's correct, Chair.
Thank you. With that background, then, can we turn to your statement, starting at page 1, under that main heading you have as my interactions with...
So a little bit of background there about who Witness E is, a seasoned undercover police officer who's also trained in the SANDF. That testimony starting now at the Madlanga Commission.
The Midday Report with Mandy Wiener on 702 and Cape Talk is brought to you by Nedbank Commercial Banking. See money differently.
The hearing into Advocate Andrew Chauke's fitness to hold office resuming today. Remember, the last time there was this whole issue around Shamila Batoy, the NPA head, who stormed out. I don't know if stormed is the right word, but she left because she said that she needed legal advice. And then there was an expectation that she would return today. There's also an application for a recusal of the judge hearing this matter. Khomoto Modise, EWN reporter, joins us now. Khomoto, good afternoon to you. Update us on what's happened with Shamila Batoy and why she left, and is she back?
Good afternoon, Mandy. Well, there's been a lot of uncertainty running up to today since proceedings ended in December around whether Advocate Shamila Batoy would be the one to resume with her testimony. And as you correctly say in your intro, it was all about her saying she requires legal advice. And the legal advice really came at a time where her cross-examination was very heated. It was the lawyers for Advocate Andrew Chauke, that's Advocate Temela Toby, who was questioning Batoy on some procedural questions around the decision to withdraw the charges against former KZN Hawks boss Johan Boyson, as well as the Cato Manor unit. Now, this morning we heard from the evidence leaders that Batoy is not prepared to continue testifying before legal advice. What's happened since the 15th of December and today is that Batoy had made an application with the Solicitor General for a lawyer. She had requested that she be given a senior counsel and a junior to advise her on the proceedings and on this inquiry. Now, when that request was denied, she then escalated the matter, appealing to the minister, the Justice Minister's office. That's Minister Mamulo Kukubai. And the minister also rejected that application, advising her to take legal advice from the NPA's lawyers in this inquiry. And of course, then there's now questions around whether she can be legally advised by the NPA's lawyers, even though she is currently the head of the NPA. Now, it seems that she's insisting that she does want her private lawyers, but the minister is not willing to put the bill for that. And that's the sense that the inquiry has. And so it all hinges on whether Advocate Shamila Batoy is able to get legal representation, whether she'll be able to, or legal advice, I should say, and whether she'll be able to, after getting the advice, want to continue with the hearings. I think what's interesting here, Mandy, is that it sounds that the commission or the inquiry may end up not going ahead, or potentially could end up not proceeding if Advocate Batoy doesn't continue with her testimony. And I say that because we heard from one of the evidence leaders, Mandy, who said that what the advocate decides now will inform the next step for this inquiry.
So is this all up in the air now?
It's all up in the air now. We don't know what's going to happen next. You know, we've had more than 2 hours of a sitting of back and forth between the evidence leaders and the panel. The panel really questioning what next, what more can be done. You know, at the heart of this is the panel is saying that they don't even really know why Advocate Batoy wants legal advice. In which parts does she feel prejudiced? And they feel as though their hands are tied because they can't then give any advice on the way forward. And the evidence leaders are saying if Advocate Batoy isn't given legal advice, then they may or may not continue with the work of the inquiry, it seems. So at this stage, it's really just halted, and we're waiting to find out. I mean, a question was asked to the evidence leaders, Mandy, around why they don't call one of the other witnesses because they've presented an entire witness list. But even that question has not been answered by the evidence leaders. So it does seem that the future of this inquiry hinges on whether Advocate Batoy continues with her testimony or not.
Oh, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, you'd think that they'd be able to call another witness. Okay, we'll try and wait and see what happens there. Khomoto, thank you very much. Khomoto Modise, EWN reporter. She's at that inquiry, which may or may not go ahead now, hearing whether or not Advocate Andrew Chauke is fit to hold office as the Director of Public Prosecutions in Gauteng. Real growth needs more than just banking, and Nedbank Commercial Banking is your growth partner. Their team of industry experts understand your business and its potential, offering insight to help you see opportunity where others see obstacles. Because when you can see what others don't, you can do what others can't. Think bigger. Think Nedbank Commercial Banking. See money differently. Nedbank is a licensed FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
So let me get this straight. You found a tertiary institution.
Yep, Emirates.
That offers a high-performance education.
Yes.
And uses real-world case studies in its course material.
Uh-huh.
Lets you develop your own ideas on how to solve real-world problems.
Yeah, well, yes.
All so you can make your mark in the working world from day one.
Indeed.
But you haven't registered yet.
Yes. No.
Unbelievable. Register at emirates.ac.za.
Okay, I'm doing it.
Emirates is an educational brand of the Independent Institute of Education.
At Premier Hotels and Resorts, business travelers staying alone enjoy a complimentary drink every night of their stay. So, whatever your tipple, it's on the house at any of our 24 hotels and resorts nationwide. Book today at premierhotels.co.za.
And now, it's back to Mandy Wiener on the Midday Report.
This is 702.
Let's walk the talk.
12:24 on the Midday Report with me, Mandy Wiener. A decision today in the bail application of the man accused of orchestrating the murder of Warwick Stock, known as DJ Warra. Oren Singh, EWN reporter, following that story for us. Oren, good afternoon to you. Take us through that bail decision.
Hey, Mandy. It was a very brief one. Obviously, it was a lengthy bail application. It went on for close to a week over separate days and over the past 2 weeks. And judgment handed down this morning, denied bail, the magistrate claiming that he's a flight risk, also a danger to society should he be released on bail. And that's got to do with the severity in which Warwick Stock was murdered. We heard earlier on in the bail application the investigating officer take the stand, and he gave us an indication as to how Victor Majola has been linked to this crime. And it's alleged that when they arrested him, they found photos of Warwick Stock, DJ Warra, on his phone, as well as personal information pertaining to the vehicle registration of the car he was driving, as well as his address and all this personal information on the phone. And they felt that was enough to link him and claim that he's the orchestrator of this murder. They're still looking for the other two suspects involved, and that includes the shooter.
Okay, so I was about to ask. So they're looking for the actual shooters. This person is accused of being the mastermind. And that information that has come to light today, does that give us more insight into the motive?
Not really, Mandy. I think during the bail application, we kind of got a sense that Victor Majola's girlfriend is Hlengiwe Buthelezi. She's a lady that lived in that building that Warwick Stock was kind of safeguarding and auditing. And Hlengiwe Buthelezi, interestingly enough, Warwick Stock had made a protection order application against her. So the state was trying to draw links between her and Victor Majola, and that she had requested him to get this information on Warwick Stock, and then he was behind the orchestrating of his murder. But as I understand, Hlengiwe Buthelezi was initially arrested and released, and we believe that she may be turning or has turned state witness.
Interesting. Oren, thank you very much. Oren Singh, EWN reporter, giving us an update there in that matter of the man accused of orchestrating the murder of DJ Warra.
702. 702. Mandy Wiener.
Weekdays, 12 to 1 p.m.
Action SA has announced that it's merged with two other political parties, the Azanian Independent Community Movement and the Creatives Congress Movement. So it's a new political formation. What exactly will this look like, and what does it mean for Action SA? Michael Beaumont is the national chairperson of the party and joins us now. Michael, good afternoon to you. Thank you for your time. Is this an alliance? Have these two other parties come into Action SA? How would you describe it?
Andy, thank you. Yes, indeed. This is part of Action SA's big green umbrella, where we have been assimilating small opposition parties, largely represented at a local government level across municipal councils, into the Action SA fold so that they will contest under the Action SA constitution and banner. but ultimately ensuring that their constituents and their supporters find expression in our organization. It is vital to know that as we approach a local government election, organizations like this that have councillors, volunteers and supporters on the ground become massively important to Action SA's bid to take up the fight of service delivery in communities across our country.
So this is obviously important for you on a very local basis. In this particular instance, I understand that these two parties have got a very strong presence in the Northwest, I think it is.
Yes, it is. But it's important to note that this is about the 13th party that has come on board with Action SA through this Operation Big Green umbrella. And the number of councillors Action SA has amassed in this process has gone up from the 91 we achieved in the 2021 elections to now over 150. And that is giving Action SA a footprint in communities and in many places where we hadn't had one before, allowing us to compete as an alternative to a failed group of parties that have let South Africans down from a service delivery point of view for a very long time.
So then they are choosing to compete under the Action SA banner. Do they retain their identities? I mean, what's in it for them if they're losing their identities? I just want to try and understand the model.
Well, I think it's important to say they are going to be absorbed into Action SA, but these organizations have constituencies, they have issues that they regard to be important, and they will become the lobby groups within Action SA in terms of how this party of ours addresses those particular concerns in their communities and across those vital subject areas. The Creative Congress movement that came on board today represents artists across our country who have been failed by our government, that no political party has really spoken up for. And they were going to register a new party when they decided to come on board with Action SA. To answer your question, I think they see a future. They see the ability to come on board with a growing political party that hasn't let South Africans down for 30 years, and to be able to ensure that their voice gets expression in a platform that succeeds.
Obviously, a local government election year, and this strategy of the green umbrella expanding is what Action SA is doing. What does the end game look like? What do you ultimately hope to achieve?
Well, we want to make sure that our footprint is as large as it can be, especially in communities that we know we're going to be contesting in the local government elections later this year. Because as I said, when you approach voters in a local government context, the first thing that they ask you, and deservedly so, is what have you done for me? Political parties that don't have councillors on the ground, who haven't taken up fights in councils on the issues of service delivery that matter to our residents, find it very hard to answer that question. And this program is to ensure that we can answer that question in a very credible way. But ultimately, we need to offer South Africans an alternative. Our ballot papers have become comically long. Mine was over 55 in the last local government election. In 2024, we were on the second column in the bottom right-hand side. It is becoming a joke. And if we can consolidate political options for South Africans, perhaps the alternative can become clearer.
Michael Beaumont, thank you very much, a national chairperson for Action SA, explaining that this merging of two parties, the Azanian Independent Community Movement and the Creative Congress Movement. I agree, we're going to see a fracturing. I think that there should be a threshold. I think that we absolutely should have a threshold, maybe 2%, maybe 5%. You may have a view on that. But Action SA is looking at bringing in all of those smaller parties. What do you think of that strategy? 12:31, time for Eyewitness News headlines.
Thanks, Mandy. Good afternoon. The man accused of allegedly orchestrating the murder of Warwick Stock, popularly known as DJ Warra, has been labelled as a flight risk and a danger to society. Victor Majola, a 44-year-old Soweto taxi boss, was denied bail in the Johannesburg Magistrates Court this morning following a lengthy bail application. The court found that Majola failed to raise exceptional circumstances to warrant his release. The case of the 62 alleged July unrest instigators is trial ready. The group, accused of planning and participating in the 2021 looting spree in parts of KwaZulu-Natal and Gauteng is back in the Durban High Court for a pre-trial conference this morning. They are charged with incitement to commit public violence and incitement to commit terrorism linked to the anarchy. And Knysna's looming water crisis is not only placing pressure on residents, but is now beginning to hit one of the town's most important economic lifelines, tourism. Guest houses and hospitality businesses say fears around a potential day zero are already translating into cancellations and growing uncertainty. Those are the headlines. This Eyewitness News and more at 1 o'clock or as it happens.
EWN Sport.
Good afternoon, I'm Tolagile Mganga. Manchester United interim coach Michael Carrick remains unbeaten after securing back-to-back wins over Manchester City and Arsenal in the Premier League. Mateusz Cunha scored the winner as they ran out 3-2 winners over the log leaders.
We knew coming here we were going to have to kind of draw on so many different things to get a performance to then be able to get the result. And it was up and down at times. You know, there was some really good things in the game for us, things we can work on, but the way the boys were, the belief, the confidence, the kind of the spirit, everything that came together made me really proud today.
The Sunrisers Eastern Cape are the SA20 champions for the third time in the last 4 seasons, having beaten the Pretoria Capitals by 6 wickets. Sunrisers coach Adrian Burrell has lauded his team for their well-rounded performances during the tournament.
We did very well in the auction, and I think we've got a very well-balanced team. I think we've probably no disrespect to other teams, but I think we probably got the most balanced of teams. We bat deep, we got good spin, we got good pace and high-quality batsmen, experienced opening pair. We've got a fantastic bench. They could have played. I think we've got a really good squad here.
And at the Australian Open, Lorenzo Musetti beat Taylor Fritz to reach his second straight Grand Slam quarterfinal, where he'll meet Novak Djokovic. A new women's champion will be crowned this year after Jessica Pegula knocked out close friend and defending champion Madison Keys.
Obviously not the way that I wanted things to end here, but still really proud of myself. I think coming back, being defending champion, dealing with all of the kind of extra pressure and nerves, I'm really proud of myself for how I handled it, and just one of those days where I feel like just beat me and I can kind of walk away with my head held high.
Tolagile Mganga, Eyewitness News Sport.
EWN Traffic.
Well, at this hour, traveling between Boksburg and Germiston, there's bumper-to-bumper traffic on the N17 in both directions. This is between Rondebold and Osborne. Also heading towards Centurion, that's leaving the Midrand area. There's bumper-to-bumper traffic on the N1 northbound. That's between Allendale and Samrand. Otherwise, the rest of Gauteng not looking too bad. No accidents have been reported. However, in the mother city, there's an accident scene on Jacks Gerwel Drive. This is approaching Govan Mbeki Bridge. And also look out for those faulty traffic lights in Mitchell's Plain at the R300 and AZ Berman. If you come across any other traffic issues, please WhatsApp us on 072-702-1702.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app. The Outsurance pointsmen know that every car on the road carries a story. There's a car with a family driving to their new home, carrying boxes stacked with plates and toys and memories. The Outsurance pointsmen know it's not just a car in traffic, it's a new beginning, a fresh start on the move. Every story's different and every story matters. That's why the Outsurance pointsmen have been doing what they do since 2005 in proud partnership with 702. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
Calling all wedding planners and venues, restaurants, conference centers, and hotels. Do you need tables and chairs? Home in One has it all. Do you need cutlery, crockery, table linen, and restaurant equipment? Home in One has it all. Do you need tents, gazebos, or umbrellas? Home in One has it all. Affordable prices, the latest trends, with 2 branches in Pretoria and Johannesburg. Shop online at homein1.co.za because we're your #1 choice. Home in One has it all.
At Isuzu, we know every delivery, every kilometer, and every load is building something bigger. This truck month, set your business up for success with special deals across the Isuzu N and F-Series ranges. Don't get left behind. Speak to your Isuzu truck specialist or call 08600 Isuzu and secure your truck month deal today. Isuzu, with you for the long run. T's and C's apply.
WhatsApp Mandy
on 072 702 1702.
Hi, Mandy and the rest of 702 land. What a game yesterday. Man United versus Arsenal. Fire, fire, fire. Best way to start the week. Anyways, have an awesome day. Thanks. Dave from Pretoria.
Afternoon, Mandy. Well done to United. So happy. We need to stay grounded. It's 2 games, but things are going in the right direction. So happy. And apparently, news coming out of Lisbon is that Ruben Amorim is telling everyone that what is happening at Man United right now is AI generated. Remember, he told people that Bruno Fernandes and Kobe Mainoo cannot play in the same team at the same time.
Mandy, I'd like to know from Mr. Beaumont if he knows what it looks like in the city of Tshwane with respect to electricity infrastructure. Big areas without electricity for more than a week on end. It's just getting worse. What's going on in the north of Pretoria with water tankers instead of fixing water infrastructure? And then just generally in the city, there are potholes everywhere. Grass doesn't get cut. It's very ironic that he wants to improve service delivery, but they're failing dismally in the city of Tshwane or Action SA.
Zippo on the WhatsApp line says, "Hi Mandy, can we please not lose our heads over only 2 games? I promise you, Man U will be back to default settings next week." Shame. Give them a break. Let them celebrate. And then Elsa says, "Hi Mandy, I do agree the dilution with so many parties ensures that we don't have a strong vote against the ANC. Thus, they will stay the majority and do as they want." Well, on that point, the ANC having a Lekgotla this weekend, and of course a big focus on local government elections, declaring 2026 as the year to fix local government, and a declaration that they're going to remove and replace poor performing elected officials. Again, Mahlengi Bengu is the ANC spokesperson and joins us now. Mahlengi, good afternoon to you. Thank you very much for your time. The Lekgotla at the weekend, obviously a big focus on local government elections. How does the ANC emerge from the Birchwood Hotel in Boksburg going into the local government elections?
Thank you, Mandy. We have established a quarter-on-quarter reporting and a performance assessment system that's already in place following the councillor's roll call, where the president gave marching orders about how accountability mechanisms are going to work. And so we are already in full swing as far as that is concerned. They have all the templates for reporting. We need to know how often and whether the councillors are holding meetings with communities to provide reports and feedback and to take and collect views, complaints, and inputs from members of a particular ward by ward, where the ANC has presence. That's just but one of the indicators of performance. You should call meetings to come and explain if there are water challenges or whether there are challenges of illegal trading. All of those things should happen. That's the first one. The second one, we have taken strong measures to ensure that the candidate selection guidelines for the upcoming local government election have been upgraded to a very high degree. The committee that is led by Halima Motlanthe, one of our veterans, has already revised those guidelines. They've been adopted by the MSC. So the way we select councillors is going to be quite different from how we've done it before, both in terms of the skill sets that they have to possess, as well as in terms of competence, educational qualifications, and then thirdly, in terms of experience, and fourthly, in terms of no record of any form of criminality, whether it's gender-based violence and femicide, or whether it is any form of crime committed by an individual. We're strengthening those measures, and that's just but one of the ways in which we're fixing local government. We have to start with those that represent the ANC.
You've also vowed to remove and replace the poor performing elected officials. Is this process already happening, where you're looking at those people who are holding those positions and going, well, if you're not delivering services to the electorate, we're going to put somebody else there so that we will get the vote when it comes local government election time?
For example, we removed a mayor that was found to be in conflict with the law out of an act of ill discipline in the northwest, in Bujanala. We removed a few councillors in the Free State already. So that I'm talking about something that is currently happening, but it's obviously going to be accelerated in this first quarter of the financial year and the calendar year and the second quarter. I can really confirm that all of those actions, what is contained in the ANC's local government action plan, South Africans are going to see more and more and more of that kind of decisive discipline being instilled.
Tell us about the war room that's being established.
Yeah, it actually has been in existence, but as part of our own soft launch. And what we are doing now is to upscale it. We're currently setting up and all our systems, both the ICT systems as well as just the narrative systems. And yes, that is going to be formally unveiled in Feb after the State of the Nation address. For now, we just wanted to give our public representatives an opportunity to assimilate what came out of the Lekgotla and take it into the government Lekgotla to influence the outcomes of the government Lekgotla, and after which, of course, then it becomes State of the Nation address. As soon as that is concluded, we are going to be unveiling the war room. We are going to be unveiling a number of the other things we are doing. We already have a service delivery war room that is operating with even a number where South Africans can report corruption, a number where South Africans can report service delivery challenges. And that is why, for example, in Johannesburg, Johannesburg is quite a big place, but we've had a number of solutions that has been realized as a result of the establishment of the bomb squad, which is more like a mobile service delivery war room. They would just go and drive along Winnie Mandela Drive, pick up a pothole, or drive along, Ben Mall and pick up a pothole and call the city officials responsible for that. And they would sit there and say, we're not leaving until you get here. And that's happened in a number of areas. It's a pity that that narrative is often lost because of a chorus that says no work is being done, when in fact many people can attest that the city is turning around. It won't turn around for everyone at the same time, but it's important to acknowledge that the city is turning around. Refuse is being collected in a number of areas. Illegal parking of cars where it's supposed to be for public consumption, public usage in Alexandra and other places downtown has been happening. And there are videos, evidence to prove that. And it will be interesting really for us to continue to ask for such stories so that we balance the narrative.
Mahlengi, thank you very much. Mahlengi Bengu is the ANC spokesperson speaking to us there post the Lekgotla. So on that point, I mean, my personal experience, right, is this dichotomy in Joburg. Yesterday I went for the most amazing ride through the Delta. Great work being done by Josie Trails, and it's like a world-class African city. It's beautiful going through the parks. But then this morning I took a drive through the Joburg CBD, and it's falling apart. I know that there are parts where Josie is doing great work as well. Again, public-private partnerships and collaboration. But where I was, there was rubbish strewn, there were potholes, there was taxis driving like crazy. So Joburg is this dichotomy. So yes, there are areas where things are turning around. Absolutely, I agree with that. But everybody's lived experience is different, and it depends where you are on any given day.
The Midday Report with Mandy Wiener is brought to you by Nedbank Commercial Banking. See money differently.
Something a bit different. The police in the Eastern Cape issuing an urgent appeal to the public for donations of dogs to bolster its K9 unit. So they're looking for dogs to come and be crime fighters. And they're looking for very specific kinds of dogs to come and be crime fighters. Let's speak to Warrant Officer Majola Nkokli, who is from the police in the Eastern Cape. Warrant Officer, good afternoon to you. Tell us what exactly you're looking for.
Good afternoon, Mandy. Good afternoon to your listeners. Ma'am, what we're actually looking for are dogs. There are certain breeds that we are looking for. but the average age of the dog must be between 12 to 24 months of age. The breeds that we are mostly looking for are your German Shepherds, Belgian Malinois, Labrador Retrievers, Rottweilers, Bloodhounds, Border Collies, Jack Russells, and Dutch Shepherds. Those are mainly the dogs that we are looking for, but they must be relatively young, and the dogs must be healthy, confident, energetic, and not fearful of people or loud noises.
You
So
say that
those are type of
there's a critical shortage of suitable dogs that is impairing essential crime fighting at the moment. So this is why you've made this appeal. Are you appealing to breeders, to the public? Who exactly would you like to help?
any person who is in possession of a dog. It could be the breeders, it could be private individuals who are owning dogs, but the dogs must fit the profile. That is very important. The reason why we made this appeal, just to give you a picture in the Eastern Cape, out of 16 K9 units that we have in the Eastern Cape, we are sitting with about 43 trained handlers who are without dogs, and about 56 novices who have to still undergo training. All those, that is, you are looking at about close to 100 officers who are actually, almost 50% of them are already trained, and 50% of those, they yet have to undergo training. So it is a critical shortage. So really, we are in need of dogs.
Can you not go to shelters, Warrant Officer?
We have done all this, and we are trying our best. Hence, we have extended this appeal to everybody.
And people who might be listening in the Western Cape or Gauteng, can they also assist you?
We generally have the similar problem nationally. So anyone, wherever you are, you can contact Warrant Officer Chris Heggie on 072 735 0116. You may contact him wherever you are in the country. You may be in the Western Cape, Gauteng, wherever you are in the country. You may contact him. He will be able to channel that donation to wherever, to the nearest point which is in need of the dog.
Warrant Officer, thank you very much. Warrant Officer Majola Nkogri from the police in the Eastern Cape. So an appeal there from the police, an urgent appeal to the public for the donations of dogs. So they, to be very specific, what they're looking for are healthy, confident, energetic dogs that are not afraid of people or loud noises. They're looking for German Shepherds, Labrador Retrievers, Rottweilers, Bloodhounds, Border Collies, Jack Russell and Dutch Shepherds. So interesting that they are now turning to the public, to breeders, because they're in dire need of dogs to be crime fighters.
The Checkers Hyper Price Drop is here. Save up to 40% on deals like Kellogg's Cornflakes 750 grams and Nutrific Whole Wheat Biscuit Cereal 1.35 kgs, both for 119 Rand. Clover Crush 100% Fruit Juice Blend 1.5 litres, any 4 for 149 Rand. And Pampers Mega Box Nappies for 399 Rand. Save 250 Rand. Deals valid until this Sunday, only at Checkers Hyper.
From pioneering investments in the telecom sector to getting a foot in the door in the early days of private media, the Mine Workers Investment Company has always been on the lookout for new and innovative companies to advance South Africa as a nation, while building financial security for our country's mine workers and their families. As we end a year of looking back on 3 decades of incredible successes, we look forward to the next 3 decades and beyond. Join us as we celebrate 30 years of MIC.
The Outsurance pointsmen know that every car on the road carries a story. There's a car with a parent shuttling his kids, with a back seat full of chatter, laughter, lunch boxes and lost shoes. The Outsurance pointsmen know it's not just a car in traffic, it's a regular yet special slice of a family's life. Every story's different and every story matters. That's why the Outsurance pointsmen have been doing what they do since 2005, in proud partnership with 702. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
WhatsApp Mandy
on 072 702 1702.
Imagine reporting corruption to the ANC or possible delivery to the ANC. Joke of the year.
Mandy, I've got Spotty here in the township. He is healthy, street smart, knows everybody, and he never needs a medical checkup. Maybe they can have him. Those ones are the lowest maintenance, but the biggest survivors that we have. The other breeds tend to be quite expensive that he mentioned. So yeah, no, Spotty is available, Mandy. They must hit me up. Spootler insurance.
Sputler, Warrant Officer Spotty, coming to fight crime in your neighborhood. I think every area's got a Spotty who knows exactly who's who and who's doing what and knows exactly what's going on. Please, if we had an entire police service made up of Spotties, I think we would have a much lower crime rate in the country. Thanks for that.
702, the Midday Report, Monday to Friday.
12 to 1 p.m.
Well, if you heard me last week raging about the government's response to the Vanderbijl Park scholar transport accident, again, I'm just infuriated by the fact that the Gauteng Traffic Police and other law enforcement agencies are today conducting learner transport enforcement operations in Soshanguve and Mabopane and around the city of Tshwane. So they're impounding buses due to unroadworthiness. Kudos to them. Look, great. They should be doing this all the time. They shouldn't just wait for an accident and then do it and publicize it and send the MEC out. At least they're doing it. But I hate this reactionary approach. Anyway, let's find out about it. Jabulile Mbata, EWN reporter, joining us. Jabulile, good afternoon to you. Tell us about this operation underway.
Good afternoon, Mandy. So I'm in Ekurhuleni at Katlehong. We're outside the Ntutugo Primary School where the Department of Transport and National Traffic Police will be inspecting scholar transport. So the official operation for the scholar transport hasn't really started because the MEC is still on the way. But in the meantime, what the traffic police department decided to do is to just check enforcement of road users. And already now, as I speak to you, there is a driver of a minibus taxi who is being arrested because he was found to be drinking and driving. When the police tested him, they found that he's 3 times above the prescribed limit. His number plate wasn't attached properly, and he was actually transporting a group of people. This is literally
on a Monday morning.
On a Monday morning, something that's happening right outside the primary school. So we haven't even gone far. It wasn't on a main road. He was just passing the school, and police stopped him. And found that he was drinking and driving. They're taking him in their vehicles now. They've handcuffed him. And they say they will continue checking other cars until the MEC arrives.
And I'm not sure if you know the answer to this question, but is this something that was just kind of implemented because of the accident last week? Or is it a regular thing that they're doing?
So what I've heard from the department, from the Ekurhuleni city, is that they do go on regular, inspections. They do various inspections, sometimes even going inside the schools to check whether learners do not have either weapons or any thing that is not supposed to be in the school. So obviously now I think, there is greater enforcement because of the accident. But again, the city of Ekurhuleni, even from previous stories we've done, from my understanding, they are constantly doing such inspections.
Jabulile, thank you very much. She's in Ekurhuleni, Jabulile Mbata, where the MEC is going to arrive there. I mean, it's just crazy. 3 times over the limit on a Monday morning when you're driving passengers. And they're right to crack down, but they mustn't just do this now because there was an accident. Oh, you guys are funny. On the WhatsApp line, Mandy, the African Spotty is the Toyota of dogs. Kevin. Really. And then Zeno sent a picture of an Alsatian saying this dog must not think we forgot whose side it was on during apartheid.
WhatsApp Mandy
on 072 702 1702.
By a Jack Russell. I've never seen police use a Jack Russell. Yeah, I mean, the German Shepherd we know, Malinois as well, Rottweiler, yeah. Border Collie, maybe I've never seen that, but Jack Russell, yeah, okay, interesting. Can the people donate for the country?
Jack Russell. JB says, a shortage of dogs, yet another skill shortage in Mzansi. I mean, I was thinking that. I was like, there's unemployment, guys. There's like 32% unemployment, but they're looking, there's jobs out there for if you're a dog. Romy says, this is just going to encourage discriminate breeding. Yeah, of course, that is a worry as well. And then Alan says, who in their right mind would give their dogs to our police? Are they nuts?
Sports Wrap
Sports Wrap
on 702 and Cape Talk.
Mwanda Mateza joining us at the moment. Of course, we'll speak about the Australian Open. I'm busy watching while I'm talking, obviously, because that's what I do during Opens. Mwanda, I think the point to start would have to be that Arsenal game. Hey, to an Arsenal supporter.
Yeah, absolutely. Good afternoon, Mandy. Quite a disappointing performance from Arsenal, having dominated, I'd say, probably the first half hour of the game, and then going on to lose in the way that they did, giving away one goal at least, and then just two spectacular efforts from Patrick Dorgu and Matthias Cunha. All goes well for Manchester United, seeing as though they don't have anything else to play for but the Premier League. So I think they'll have a really, really good shot at securing that Champions League spot for the next season. But yeah, I think everything looks good and rosy on their side with Michael Carrick at the helm.
Oh, look at you, making it sound amazing. So the SA20 final was yesterday. That was a cracker, also going down to the last over.
Yeah, absolutely. Fitting final for an incredible competition. And once again, this year, I think the SA20 did deliver a lot more than expected. And it's so funny because we raise our expectations with the tournament with every season that comes. And yeah, Sunrisers Eastern Cape, once again, winning the third time in 4 years they've won it. It's so funny for them, in actual fact, that every season that comes in, they aren't really spoken about amongst the favorites, but time and again, they defy the odds. I know that they do have international players, but they're not some of the big names and electric, exciting names that you always want to see. I mean, Quinton de Kock is there, sure, but, you know, it's not the highly fancied names, and they don't have, you know, a coach. I mean, they've got Adrian Burrell as a coach, who's brilliant, but not in the same vein or thought of as highly as maybe a Saurav Ganguly and the likes that were coaching the Pretoria Capital. So yeah, Sunrisers Eastern Cape, once again, phenomenal. And I am biased, very biased when I say this as well, that they have the best support at home as well. So yeah, I think it's fitting that they win.
Mwanda, and then the Sharks seem to be resurgent.
Yeah, great stuff for JP Peterson, who took over. And the Sharks look like they've got a new life in them. They look far ahead of the team that they were a couple of months ago with John Plumtree at the helm. And beating the Stormers is no easy feat, especially at home once again as well. And this is a Stormers side who's been unbeaten up until Saturday. And also some really, really good performances there from the Hendrickse brothers. Good to see them back in form. And Andre Esterhuizen as well, dominating in midfield the way that he did. And the Sharks and the Stormers will meet again once again this weekend. So it's going to be an exciting a sequel to that fantastic fixture. But yeah, it looks good for the Sharks at the moment. And yeah, long may it continue. Always good for SA Rugby when the Sharks do well.
Mwanda Mateza wrapping up the weekend sport for us.
The Midday Report.
Thank you very much for listening. The Midday Report with Mandy Wiener on 702 and Cape Talk was brought to you by Nedbank Commercial Banking. Think bigger, think Nedbank Commercial Banking. It's 1 o'clock.
This is EWN.
Alleged mastermind behind DJ Warra's murder labelled a danger to society, and Knysna municipality's economic lifeline under threat amid deepening water crisis. Good afternoon, I'm Mike. Illustrating the murder of Warwick Stock, popularly known as DJ Warra, has been labelled as a flight risk and a danger to society. Victor Majola, a 44-year-old Soweto taxi boss, was denied bail in the Johannesburg Magistrates Court this morning following a lengthy bail application. The court found that Majola failed to raise exceptional circumstances to warrant his release. Arun Singh has more.
In her judgment, Magistrate Annelies Klapi emphasised that the state had made a strong case in opposing Victor Majola's release on bail. The Soweto taxi boss was arrested 6 days after Warwick Stock, aka DJ Warra, was killed in Joburg CBD in December. Klapi says the evidence linking Majola to the crime is overwhelming.
The applicant, if released on bail, will endanger the public safety, taking into consideration the degree of violence that was used during the commission of the offence.
She ruled that Majola is a flight risk.
He submitted different addresses, and therefore it may be difficult for the state to trace him.
The case was postponed to next month for further investigations. Aryan Singh, Eyewitness News.
Staying in the courts, the case of the 62 alleged July unrest instigators is trial ready. The group accused of planning and participating in the 2021 looting spree in parts of KwaZulu-Natal and Gauteng is back in the Durban High Court for a pre-trial conference this morning. They're charged with incitement to commit public violence and incitement to commit terrorism linked to the anarchy. There were 65 people arrested in 2022. However, Eyewitness News has since learned that 3 others have since passed away. Nhlanhla Mabaso has more.
Nearly 5 years since the July riots in KwaZulu-Natal and Gauteng, the public will learn more details on the anarchy when the matter goes to trial. Prosecutors told the Durban High Court today that they are ready to proceed. The case has been set down for nearly 2 months, starting from July. KZN NPA spokesperson Natasha Ramkison-Karam.
The matter appeared in court, that's the Durban High Court today, and it was declared trial ready. The trial now is set down for later this year, which is from July to September 2026.
The state is expected to lead evidence from various witnesses, including crime experts and digital analysts. Nhlanhla Mabaso, Eyewitness News, Durban.
In the capital, the Madlanga Commission has heard how Police Minister Senzo Mchunu confronted a station commander for not arresting a politician from the Umkhonto weSizwe party. Acting KwaZulu-Natal Deputy Police Commissioner Anthony Gopal has been testifying at the Commission this morning. Gopal has told the Commission about his interaction with Mchunu during a by-election in the Kwadukuza local municipality in Durban. Tabiso Goba has that story.
At the heart of the story is Vishnu Dushi Govender, a former ANC ward councillor who defected to the Umkhonto weSizwe party last year. Governor's resignation from the ANC prompted a by-election in Kwadukuza's Ward 28. Acting KwaZulu-Natal Deputy Police Commissioner Anthony Gopal says senior ANC officials came to Kwadukuza to campaign in the by-election. One of them was Senzo Mchunu. Gopal says while Mchunu was in the area, he visited the local police station.
He then indicated to the station commander, Lieutenant Colonel Naika, that while he was on his campaign trail, he was taken to some people and who complained extensively about the MK party candidate, Mr. Dushi Govender.
Gopal says when he was informed that the minister was at the station, he drove there to meet him. Gopal says he told Mchunu there were no pending cases against Govender. Tabiso Goba, Eyewitness News.
Action SA has announced a merger with 2 more movements as it repositions itself ahead of local government elections anticipated to take place before the end of the year. Under its Green Umbrella project, it today welcomed Northwest-based Azanian Independent Community Movement and the Creatives Congress movement into its fold. Action SA President Herman Mashaba says his party's Tshwane Mayor Nasiphi Moya is raising the bar for running municipalities. Lindsay Dentlinger has the details.
Just more than a year since Action SA included Forum for Service Delivery under its umbrella, the party says it's on a mission to grow a formidable opposition that will hold the Government of National Unity to account. The Azanian Independent Community Movement grows Action SA's representation in municipal councils by an additional 7 seats to 152. Party President Herman Mashaba says the aim is to increase this number to 200 by the next polls.
Action SA's trajectory is now defined by exceptional growth in both rural communities and urban areas.
National Chairperson Michael Beaumont says it's important to join forces with movements which already have grassroots representation.
The service delivery issue is that if you don't have councillors, it's very hard for you to be relevant and for you to fight those fights.
Action SA is hoping today's merger will further bolster its electoral prospects in the Northwest, which is the second fastest growing province for the party and where it won its first by-election last October. Lindsay Dentlinger, Eyewitness News.
And in the Western Cape, Knysna's looming water crisis is not only placing pressure on residents, but is now beginning to hit one of the town's most important economic lifelines, tourism. Guest houses and hospitality businesses say fears around a potential day zero are already translating into cancellations and growing uncertainty. Kaylin Morgan is there.
In a town that depends on tourism to drive its local economy, business owners in Knysna say fears around a possible day zero are already translating into cancellations and a slowdown in bookings, raising concerns about the impact on livelihoods. Laguna Inn owner Alison Pichler says her business has already started feeling the effects.
So we had a lot of cancellations in December.
of locals having heard the bad news and not wanting to come. So the word is not pleasant because everyone seems to be panicking a lot.
Some accommodation establishments say they are introducing water-saving measures and encouraging guests to use water responsibly. Business owners are appealing to travellers not to cancel their trips as Knysna works to avoid crossing the day zero threshold. Kayleen Morgan, Eyewitness News, Knysna.
Gold's trading at $5,091.32 an ounce. The rand's at 16.02 to the dollar, at 21.90 to the pound, at exactly 19 to the euro. Brent crude oil's at $66.02 a barrel.
Midrand, slow-moving traffic heading towards Centurion. That's on the N1 northbound between Annandale and New Road, and in Germiston also traffic sluggish. N17 in both directions between Osborne and